how you love me electric, like you do. Love it how you love me electric, always you. Love it how you love me electric, electric. I love it how you love me a lot, love me a lot, love me electric. Baby, keep the light on for me, I'm coming home. Know I got you forever wherever I go. I feel like I'm high. Oh, and I wouldn't change the way you got me jumping through hoops. All the wishes in the world and I wish for you. I feel like I'm dying. Oh, and I found heaven in your eyes. Tell me it's all mine, holding on too tight. You're like a neon sign in a starless night, showing up so bright. Can't get over how you talk to me, like I'm all you ever gonna need. Seeing colors that I've never seen. I love it how you love me electric, like you do. Love it how you love me electric, always you. Love it how you love me electric, electric. I love it how you love me a lot, love me a lot, love me electric. Wired in the moments like I'm walking on air, tripping over roses every time that you're there. I'm losing my mind. Oh, and I'm hot over the moon, you know that you got me good. I'm not even that, I need you more than I should. I feel like I'm dying. Oh, and I found heaven in your eyes. Tell me it's all mine, holding on too tight. You're like a neon sign in a starless night, showing up so bright. Can't get over how you talk to me, like I'm all you ever gonna need. Seeing colors that I've never seen. I love it how you love me electric, like you do. Love it how you love me electric, always you. Love it how you love me electric, electric. I love it how you love me a lot, love me a lot, love me electric. Found heaven in your eyes. You're like a neon sign, showing up so bright. Can't get over how you talk to me, like I'm all you ever gonna need. Seeing colors that I've never seen. I love it how you love me electric, like you do. Love it how you love me electric, always you. Love it how you love me electric, electric. I love it how you love me a lot, love me a lot, love me electric. Like you do. Love me, always you. Yeah, you love me, yeah, you love me. Electric, electric. I love it how you love me a lot, love me a lot, love me electric.
think something new under the sun. You can't take back them things you already done. No. You blame things that you do on somebody else. No. But they all see is you need help. But still you try so hard to cover up your games. You try so hard, hoping that one day something gon' change. You waste all of your time covering up your tracks. Spend all your days running away. You gotta watch your back, and that's the facts. You spend so much of your life scheming and trying to get over. Got you wondering why you come around. All you get is cold shoulder. Yeah. You try so hard to cover up your games. You try so hard, hoping that one day something gon' change. You try so hard. Yeah. You try so hard. You try so hard. Yeah. You try so hard. Give me, Can't run away from you. You gon' pay. Still you try so hard to cover up your games.
Hello, welcome back to another show. And how is this show called? What's the name? Why we are here? Hi Ludwig. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Welcome.
Today it's our moving show. Oh, how do you call
Very
it?
moving. I'm close to tears now already, so I moved to tears. Yeah, it's a great opportunity, and actually, I think that's the first time we are doing that about moving school, talking in public about who we are and showing things, and also like giving some input. It's a crowd of people waiting to come into the show, so be curious and stay with us tonight.
How long does moving school exist?
Actually, we started 2012, so that was Documenta 12, D12. Yeah, so it's almost 10 years now.
And we both had also a meeting in this time often. Once we were working on a film project. Maybe we see that later. What else do we have in this show? There was an old person I heard in my ears.
Yes,
Have you heard him?
our co-host. We have Gamu from Zimbabwe and we have Urs from Switzerland as the co-host.
Yeah, but
Is he not there?
who's that Urs?
He's one of my best friends, and I thought since we are, oh, hi, there he is. Yeah, hi, Urs. How are you?
Ah, Urs, you have muted yourself. Yes.
Ah,
Yeah, hi. How are you?
yeah. Hi, Ludwig. Nice to meet you. You are on the other side. Yeah, look. He's on the other side here. Where is he? Yeah. Here is
Yeah,
Ludwig.
here am I.
Yeah,
Haven't seen you
so
in.
far, so far, and so near.
Yeah, this
And
this is this is how friends are. Very close, but then also far away in the internet. But thanks you're here from Switzerland. I mean, that's a long way.
Yes, lately it's a it's a long way, and you have to climb some mountains to stay here. But internet is such a nice thing, so we are so near without walking.
That's very good for old people, isn't it?
Yeah, das stimmt eigentlich, ne? Yeah, this is Dieter. He is sitting behind me, but I don't need him. Yeah.
But he's a nice guy. I mean, I like him too. So
Okay.
don't be mean to him. Um, so today we talk a lot about learning. I mean, do you like learning, lifelong learning, or do you think old people know everything?
No, I think old people mostly are very dangerous because because they are not interested in future. They are more interested in the past. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
why is
So
that?
it's so if you're not good on your feet, yeah, you are interested in the small things. For example, to put on the coffee machine and go to the bakery. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. Very nice. Um, it's good that you're here in the show because we need, so many people waiting. So we need a little help for organizing the thing. And so I'm glad you're here and back me up.
Okay, I will help you as I can. So I remember in my learning in my school in a small village in Switzerland. Yes, I went to school every day, but I had a long way to walk from my home to the school. Yes, yeah. Yeah, and I guess I learned more on my way to school than in school. Okay.
That's good. How is that? How come?
Yeah,
That's a
because
good thing.
yeah, because we our teachers are not very good. Because but my way to school. It was very interested. Yes, it was. Yeah. Okay. Okay. But what do you think was if you could go to school today? What do you think? What can be better in school now? If you go to school, what will be better now? I think if I could go to school in 2021, yeah, I think I need more breaks. More breaks? Yes, because I think the greatest enemy of quality is to hurry. Okay? The most important things, Ludwig, the
Mhm.
most important things happens while you do nothing.
Wow, that, that's your wisdom is fantastic. Can you say more about that?
No, we have to do that. Now we do nothing. All together now, we do nothing. One, two, three. Do you know John Cage?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Okay, it's enough, I think. Almost.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, I think that was a great introduction into our show. Maybe we should just stop here and do nothing for the rest of the time, and maybe that's the best we can do today.
And I saw we have one person more beneath me down there. And she's doing nothing as well with us.
Nothing at all.
Hi, this is Carolina Katún, our musician from last Thursday. She couldn't be in our show, but today we have you here, and that's great. And we see 2 videos from you later in the show, and Ludwig is happy too. I see it.
Yeah, so we haven't seen each other quite a long time, yeah? Some years
Yeah,
now.
like maybe 9 years or something like this. Thank you for the invitation. I'm really happy.
Yeah, it has minimum 2 reasons why I invited you. Because of course I want to talk a little bit about the start, because you were at the start of moving school, and also because you are meanwhile into music a lot, doing great music with your band, and we want to tonight see a little bit of your music.
Great.
Can you can you can you tell the audience what kind of music are you doing?
Well, it's a crossover between jazz and Latin American music. I'm half Mexican and half Swiss. So I'm really interested about mixing things and actually, well, the first album just happened with what we liked, and we reinvented some songs, traditional songs from Mexico, and others. We did one Baroque songs and some composition in French. So it's really mixed about different influences. And now I'm preparing the second album, which is more composition, self-compositions.
And you have musicians with you, a band. Can you say a little bit about the band you're working with?
Yes, I'm working with Pierre Perchaud, a great guitar player, a French guitar player, a drummer, Arthur Allard, and now we're working for the second album with a cellist, Laura Caroni, who's Argentinian and Swiss.
Okay. And you're based in Paris right now, right?
Well, I moved a little bit back to Switzerland, so I'm between Paris and Switzerland now.
Okay. And I guess you had also a hard time during the lockdown now to this pandemic, right? You're out of work, kind of, or do you do other things?
Yeah, I did a lot of other things. I teached a lot, and also I'm taking care of my grandma in Switzerland here,
Of your what?
of my grandmother.
Okay, yeah. How old is she?
She's 92.
Oh, like
Oh,
Urs.
Yeah, like Urs.
maybe maybe they could meet each other. I mean, Urs is
Oh,
a
yeah.
single at the moment, right?
But
And
but he's always really close to Peter, isn't he?
Where in Switzerland is he?
Yeah, I stay near Lucerne.
Ah, okay. Well, that's not so far. We are in Neuchâtel.
Yeah, here
Oh,
is
and
she pretty?
Yes, really pretty. Yes,
yeah.
Okay, so please send me a picture.
I will.
Okay.
okay, if anyone else needs a friend, send us a message tonight.
Yes. that's
And
that's
yeah,
that's a good that's a good interruption. Maybe we have to tell the people where they can write messages. You see, we are sending the live stream on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So if you have any questions to Carolina or Urs, or maybe Peter in the background of Urs, or for Ludwig, Moving School, and maybe artort.tv for myself, write down what you like and we bring it into the show. And for all of you who likes to join us here via a telephone call, because it's also a call-in show, you have the possibility. Down there is a number, a German number, so if you're living in Europe, it will be hopefully not that much expensive for you. So, and now back to these lovely 5 people.
so what do you think? Shall we start with the music or a little bit later?
Me?
No, I ask the technician.
Carolina, the first song we are watching, how is it called? It's produced in Mexico, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. It was a show in Mexico City, a big show. I think the biggest one, there was 8,000 people. It was incredible outside. And there was such a beautiful energy in the public. It's a beautiful remembering. So this song is Zamba de los Humildes, which is a traditional song from Argentina. And I really like it because it talks about hoping, and when we have to wait for hope, it's better to hope singing.
Lovely. So we started. Enjoy it. See you back after this lovely song.
Zambita, para que canten los humildes de mis pagos. Si hay que esperar la esperanza, más vale esperar cantando. Si hay que esperar la esperanza, más vale esperar cantando. Nacida de los boliches, donde el grito alza su llama, su canción de largas canta siempre como si fuera una esencia, la cara hundida en el pecho, hasta mirarse la pena, la cara hundida en el pecho, hasta mirarse la pena, un corazón de camino, desde su canto regresa al despertar el destino que el pueblo en su pecho lleva, al despertar el destino que el pueblo en su pecho lleva, como un canto de la tierra, hay que cantar esta samba, hermana de los humildes, sembradores de esperanza, salsa de raíz de sangre, del fondo de la guitarra. Como un canto de la tierra, hay que cantar esta samba, hermana de los humildes, sembradores de esperanza, salsa de raíz de sangre, del fondo de la guitarra.
Wow, great.
Lovely.
I really, I'm always intrigued by your voice because it has such a nice color to it, and it's very intense. It's really like you sing with your whole body and being. So that's really great. Love it.
Yeah, and this song was a little bit different to these songs we saw on our last show. And in how many different languages you are performing?
French, Spanish mostly, and also a little bit English, but really little. It's not. I have an accent that's not so nice.
Yeah, like Urs and me. And for the people out there at the end of the show, we are closing with another song from you. Can you say something to this?
Yes, it's La Llorona. It's a traditional song from Mexico, and it's been singing a lot. But many singers like Chavela Vargas. I don't know if you know her. She was really famous in Mexico. Lila Down and others. And well, I let you discover that song. This is a video clip that I made in New York when we were playing there, and that was a funny experience.
So all the people out there, stay here and don't leave the show, so you can have this chance to see the video later on.
Yeah, so I would like to start like our interviews, and that was the other reason I invited you, because when we started Moving School, end of the Documenta exhibition in Kassel in 2012, you were here, and I think that was the time we first met, right?
Exactly, yes. I was working in Documenta 12 for an artist, a Mexican artist, Pedro Reyes, and we were doing kind of performance, working for a sanatorium. We were doing like fictive therapists, and doing some fictive therapies with people close to art therapy mostly. That was really interesting, and that's how Ludwig and Pedro met and began to work a little bit together, if I'm right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. He asked me to kind of a little bit care for your students because even in so-called little therapies, you never know what happens with people, you know, how they react. And so he asked me as a therapist to a little bit be behind you and supervise you. And it was great also to be with Pedro because he's a great artist into social art and recently into sculpture. So you look him up if you don't know him. He's one of the most famous artists, I think, at present. And then so you were working there. We met, and then you got involved in somehow because I think my team was not very large at the beginning, and you helped to set up that, right?
Yes.
And
And I remember we invited some Swiss people to come to do a conference.
yes, I think it was a friend of yours. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah. So
Geneviève Morand. Yes.
we put together a team and had some, I think, 1 or 2 weeks for the first time during that time. And so I'm always grateful for you at that time because you can't start a thing just by your own in a way. Do you have any memories from these first workshops?
Well, I remember more. My memory is not so good, but I remember more the conviviality that when we met, we had such a beautiful exchange, and I remember also this. Maybe it was after at your place. There was a piano, some people playing, and we just have beautiful exchange. It's more the ambience that I remember. It was really, really beautiful.
Yeah, but that's also a memory I think we would like to stir up in people because atmosphere is very important, you know. And it's interesting that you don't remember things we have done or so, but this friendship atmosphere, this because that's something we need in schools, to learn to be creative. That's the base of it, and actually, that's also developed as one major thing we want to connect people in moving school and let them feel comfortable. So I'm glad this was there in the beginning. I will give a little talk later about our pedagogical principles or what we found, and that's the thing. It developed. There's not a fixed thing at the beginning, but it was also through experience that things. Because at that time we just started and see, what came out, what can we leave, and what we don't continue with. So thank you for this memory of the good atmosphere, and thanks for coming for now. You look beautiful tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. It was
As
happy
always.
to meet you.
And Ludwig,
yeah,
and 2012, it was 2012, and I remember our film project.
Yeah.
It was in 2012.
Yeah, it was actually to start.
I don't know if Carolina is remembered. She is remembering this video with people like Urs.
Yeah.
Maybe we take a look. If you
I
like.
don't remember. I'm sorry. Yes, would be
It's a short commercial, so enjoy it. Oh my
Amazing.
goodness.
I haven't seen it. It's the first time.
Really?
Oh,
Really? Yes, it's amazing.
Okay, we had a lot of fun. Ludwig,
that-
where was it? Where is this playground?
yeah, this is now an historical video because this playground for adults doesn't exist any longer. It was in the backyard of a famous club in Kassel, and people could use it, and it was a lot of fun. The thing is, like next to where I live is an old people's home, and I knew that there's a guy, doing theater with the people who live there, and I just went there and said, look, we want to make a film, invite people to moving school. Do you like to come and play? And then Stefan did this amazing video, and it shows also what is important to know, that we need, even today, or especially today, we need lifelong learning and also kind of lifelong play, because the play is something, very, very natural for us, which creates a lot of creativity and innovation. And with with this situation right now, we need to go on with learning, until we get old, because things are changing so fast.
So this is the second part. The first was spirit. You talked about the spirit, like Carolina said, playing music after doing something. What you did, you don't know, but the spirit is still recognized. And also the fun factor. Oh, I'm very interesting. What will be the next points? Ludwig, which person we have to call in? Because
Yes.
normally Roshank, Rosh.
Roshanak. Now we talk to Guanxi. If you
It's not here. I can give you Androniki.
No.
But she's not
Guanxi, if you hear me, the thing is that this show is also an experiment. We only have 4 seats, and so people are waiting to come in the studio. And
wait a moment, we have it in a few seconds.
The studio.
Look there. Who's there?
Hi. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah,
So, Guanxi,
So nice to see you.
You're coming in from where?
Right now I'm in Penarth in Wales, in the UK. We're just across the bay from Cardiff, the capital of Wales. So yeah, right now I'm here. I've been traveled a little bit since we last met.
And you are working there in the university right now?
Yeah, so right now I'm working for the Open University, the largest online distant learning provider in the UK.
And what are you doing there?
So basically, I'm an educational advisor. I'm working with students, helping them basically provide them guidance to help them complete their study plans. And they can do a degree or a diploma or a certificate, or we have a lot of mature students, and they just want to learn. It's a great job. And then I talk to a lot of learners.
And I guess the age range of learners are also vast, right? It's a lot.
Very different. Yeah, we have. I spoke to a student in their 60s, and I was also have a student in the traditional school time, 19, 20 years old. People come to the Open University with different purposes and motivation, but yeah, it's amazing working with them.
Would you take Urs with his 91 years old? Is he too
old? Of course. Anyone is welcome. It's open admission. So check out our website.
Okay, I will do.
See, you already motivate him. That's great. We met actually also in Kassel because you studied in Kassel.
Yeah, I remember it was I think 2011 when was a change making camp in Kassel. I think we met in one of the project with Nomad School, Netherlands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Changemaker Camp in 2011 was actually kind of how this idea of moving school was born. What was your study at the time, your master?
I was studying higher education research and development, so it was my grad school. So I remember it was really, I was just really intrigued of the whole idea of change making camp.
In which group were you there working at the time?
I was in the University of Kassel, so I was in a international master program of higher education.
No, I meant in this Changemaker Camp that we had, I think, 3 different working groups. Do you remember where you worked?
Oh, that was a long time ago. Sorry, I don't remember.
Okay.
I can't remember who introduced me. It could be just that we're in a similar workshop, but it was so long ago.
No, I just wanted to have you here to talk about this because to tell people this idea of moving school was not my idea. It was actually by students like Guan Xi at the time who worked like for a week on the question, what does the University of the Future look like? And they came up with this idea. It's not doesn't have a place to stay, but it's traveling around the world, and you have you learn where you are with the local people and so on. And they really made a whole concept out of it. And so then we were left with this idea, when the conference was at the end. And so it was their idea. And so innovation or doing change is not always to have yourself an original idea. You just take something from somebody else, which you like, and you take further.
Exactly.
So maybe last question to you. So if you think of the education we need today, what would you say? I mean, what is important?
I think first, I think education always need to be more inclusive for people with different learning style, for people with disabilities, for people with different background, different life experiences. So traditional education, we talk about going to school or a break university. People tend to stay in a classroom, and there's one model fits all. But I think in my idea, also I believe in a lot of people in the moving school. The idea is there should be some it's like education in the future should be more flexible and providing different learning experiences and providing different means of learning. Look with the beginning when we join the moving school, there are a lot of ideas for learning from doing and learning from experience, learning from playing. So I think it's such a great idea, and then hopefully in the future we have more kind of a structured, way of kind of promoting this kind of education.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for now, and great you came in the studio, and nice to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm so happy to be here, and I haven't seen you for a long time. I'm just happy to come back.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Great. The first guest. Who's next?
Who's next is actually it's Roshanak. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to wait for Roshanak. She's not calling at the moment. We are waiting for her. And Urs, what are you saying about this kind of meanings of education and ideas?
I think you're right that first I thought that that what the world look like tomorrow depends on the imagination of those who are learning to read right now. But I think that's not true. I think what the world will look like tomorrow depends on the imagination of young and old people, I think.
Yeah, that's
And young
that's
and
the,
and young, we have one. Roshanak is
Yes,
here.
of
So
course.
Urs, let us her inside. Yeah, there's Roshanak. Hi, Roshanak.
Roshanak, you are in Germany right now in Wuppertal, but you are originally coming from where?
Ich komme aus dem Iran und ja, jetzt zurzeit bin ich Doktorandin hier in Wuppertal.
I'm coming from Iran, and at the moment I'm doing my PhD in Wuppertal.
Ja, in Philosophie, also.
In philosophy. And I can't remember the year, maybe it was 7-8 years ago, we met in Isfahan, where you're from, which is a very beautiful city. And so can you remember anything from these workshops at the time?
Ja, ich war 2 später als anderen ein Mitglied geworden und war dabei, aber ich kann mich sehr gut erinnern, wenn meine Freundin hat mir gesagt, dass wir wollen für ein Team aus Kassel, das heißt Moving School, wir wollen dafür einen Workshop machen und ja, wolltest du dabei sein oder? Und das war erstmal für mich sehr merkwürdig, weil
Okay,
ich dachte,
I came in late to the workshop of moving schools. A friend invited me to come in, and in the beginning was a little bit weird for me.
ja, weil ich dachte, es kommt ein Team aus Kassel, eine Einrichtung oder eine Plattform, ein Bildungsprogramm aber das Team ist aus dem Iran. Wieso kann es sein? Weil, erstmal
Yeah, I thought there is a theme coming from Kassel, from Germany, and being learned here. But then I saw it was an Iranian team. I was so surprised about that.
Ja, weil es kommt sehr seltsam vor, dass ein Workshop die Durchführende aus dem Iran sein. Ich habe mich daran gewöhnt, immer, dass ich als Teilnehmer dabei zu sein, nicht als Durchführender.
Yeah, I was used to be just a participant in workshops, but not as somebody who's leading the workshop.
Ja, genau. Und später war ich mir gewusst, dass das ist auch ein Teil von Moving School. Also ich kann das wie ein Vertrauen ohne Grenzen nennen oder wie soll ich mal sagen, das ist ein Verlassen, ein Vertrauen auf Kompetenz, nicht auf Nationalität oder was anderes.
So what I found about this, that I could lead a workshop, was this, that I was trusted to do it, and was something like trust without limits, that's and also trust in competence, in my competence.
Genau.
What kind of workshop were you leading at the time?
Das war über Thema Feminismus im Iran. Und ja, damals war ich eher beschäftigt mit dem Thema. Ich habe auch mein Masterthesis darüber geschrieben. Und
So
ja,
the theme was feminism. We did a workshop about that, and it was also part of my master thesis I was doing at the time.
genau.
Roshanak, it sounds a little bit funny, maybe if we talk about feminism Iran, because when we look at the TV, we see women in positions we would not think of it like around here. So was that easy to do, or was it difficult or dangerous to talk about feminism in Iran?
Ich würde sagen, weil ich Philosophie studiere, ich möchte ja nicht in Klischees zu denken, sondern eher ehrlich zu sein und sagen, das war kein wie Abenteuer oder war nicht gefährlich, aber wie ich von meinem Land weiß, das ist eher maskulin dominierend in unserem Fach. Und ja, das ist noch kein Platz für Frauen und wichtiger für Leute, Männer oder Frauen, egal, die anders als die Regierung oder wie dominierend ist, denken. Ja.
So I was studying philosophy at the time, and so I was working about feminism. But the thing is that like the departments are male dominated, as also and there was no place for women to talk about feminism. That was at the time my experience.
Ja, und auch anders denken ist wichtiger als Frau sein oder Mann sein. Das meine ich, egal von welchem Geschlecht man ist. Für Frauen ist es schlechter, aber wenn man anders denkt, als Religion oder als Herrschaft, als Atmosphäre da.
So it's very important that you think different, or you have the freedom to think different. If you're man or woman, doesn't that's not the point. But you have the freedom to think different than your professors, different than the government.
Ja, aber sowas gibt es da nicht. Dieses Freiheit, anders zu denken.
Yeah, so we don't have this freedom to think different. So Roshanak, maybe to close, you, I really admire you because you are you have a disability, so you have to sit in a wheelchair, but you were part of the team as anybody else. And I remember at the time that in your feminism group, there were also, very conservative women, with hijab and someone like you. And it was interesting that you could share even similar experiences. And that was a very nice setting. And then to come here to Germany and start your PhD with the conditions you have to overcome, that's just fabulous. And I'm so happy to know you. I'm so happy you're on our team.
Ja, ich auch. Ich wollte nur auch merken, dass eine Anmerkung machen, dass weil ich im Rollstuhl sitze, habe ich immer irgendeine komische Angst vor Teamarbeit, wie Leute über mich denken in Klischee oder wie anders.
I just want to add this remark that sitting in a wheelchair always meant for me that I was afraid of teamwork, you know. So what would the other people think about me? How would they view me?
Aber beim Moving School habe ich zum ersten Mal dieses Atmosphäre erlebt, dass die Leute waren, die anderen Mitglieder des Teams waren mir gegenüber wie ein Freund oder Freundin, nicht wie ein Fremde.
And so that was the first time in my experience that working together, the other people in the team were friendly to me.
Ja, okay, und ich glaube, das ist eine Alternative zur öffentlichen Bildung, das heute auch unser Thema ist. Das ist eine Alternative dazu, das kann man auch die Bildung irgendwie so definieren, dass es sehr inklusiv sein kann.
She says, yeah, so that's also the kind of what I think about as an outcome or learning is that education has to be inclusive, you know, because it brings people together, and that's very important to that it happens today wherever we learn, right? Yeah.
Ja. Und
Thank you so much, Roshanak, and see you soon. Thanks for coming in. And
ja, danke dir und alle. Es hat mir sehr gefreut, dabei zu sein.
yeah, I was happy to be here. Hotafes. Good night.
Genau, Gotthafiz.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, and thank you, Ludwig, for translation. After that, after Roshanak, what is our next guest? Or Carolina or Urs, do you have any questions? I'm looking into our also in our comments in the internet. Everyone is saying bravo, like Savenas Desavares. I hope I pronounce it well.
Savenas Desvari. Yeah.
Oh, okay, Desvari. Okay, sorry for that.
Yeah, please, any comments or questions are welcome. You know, don't have to wait till the end of the show. It should be a kind of dialogue thing, you know. So if you want to come in with a question or remark, you're always welcome, or phone call.
Who's
maybe
next?
now? Yeah, maybe. Do you have this photo I sent you, or can I show it?
Yeah. Wait a moment. This one.
Yeah. Just wanted to show it. So on the left side is Roshanak, and
okay. On the but I can zoom in, so maybe it's better.
Moving around. Yeah.
It's moving school, so we can move always pictures. I'm moving pictures always.
Actually, that was we did a workshop in a private museum in Isfahan, which is a totally rare radio museum, and in a very nice kind of old, ancient tradition Persian home. So you have this inside court, and around four walls, like you have the buildings, the rooms to live in. Very, very nice way to live. Okay, thank you for that.
And there you met Roshanak. And
yeah, but earlier, I mean, we had to prepare these workshops we had like, I think 2 weeks to prepare them together in a team. And originally we want to do it near the Imam Square, this famous, beautiful square in Isfahan, because the art school had space going out to the square. And our idea was also to invite the public to our workshops. And we talked with the art school people, and they said, oh yeah, great idea. You can use our rooms. And then 3 days before we wanted to start the Sepa, which is a military unit or for public safety said no, so you can't just plan what you want. Always there's somebody who says what you can do or not do, and I think for them it's too dangerous to have like people meeting and thinking. And as Hannah Arendt says, thinking can be dangerous. So if people exchange ideas and come to conclusions and actions, that's always what dictatorships hate. So we had to change our plans, and luckily we were meeting in a film studio for preparation, and they said, you just come to our house. That's a private house. You can do it here. So that's how we could do it. Nevertheless.
Let me ask one question to this. You're traveling a lot with Moving School. Moving School is now a movement around the globe, maybe. And
the thing is,
can you tell us, is it always easy to do? Like in Iran, you have been in Korea and other places, and do you find always people who understood this kind of education?
Yeah, important question. Also to say, like tonight, it's not about like talking about all the great things. Everything went well. I mean, there are a lot of setbacks and frustration, mistakes, whatever. And so the interviews, we haven't talked about them. Tell them what to say. So it should be really authentic. And but the truth also is that from this big idea, this vision, we have a traveling school and we go with teachers, and I mean we love this vision and we still love it. And I mean there are organizations out there who actually do it, and you pay, I don't know, maybe 4,000 or 6,000 euros for half a year, and then you can do it. So there are companies who actually were successful in doing that, which we weren't. So the traveling to these countries I did mostly by myself. But the question I had was the methods, or this kind of open learning, is this really received well, by different cultures? I mean, I come as a Westerner, says, okay, you have to be creative. Don't sit on your chairs, make a circle, move around. And so how would they receive it? And when I did a course with a PhD psychology class in Isfahan, there was no room to move, because in all the classrooms, the chairs were fixed to the ground. So we had to go into the theater and go on the stage, because that was the only where we could move. And but they did it and they loved it. So it's always, I mean, of course I talked beforehand, is it possible, what do you think, and so on. But this longing to think free or to experiment, I found this so far in all these cultures, and I think people are fed up with this one man, mostly men maybe, or in primary school, women standing in front, you're sitting in the row. The thing is, when we are little, we learn to speak and walk, and later in school we are taught to sit and shut up, and that's not kind of what's good for learning. And also movement is a good fuel for learning, because if we move, also our brain starts kind of moving, So, but the answer to your question is, it's received well, so that I was really surprised by that.
Who is next in our row?
Yes, now we want to maybe see this clip of the Periptero from the Documenta time, the Documenta 14
We can do that.
was a project we did with prepared with students from Kassel and Athens University, because at the time the Documenta had took place in 2 cities, and we had a side project, so we were not part of the famous artist, but we did our own thing on the side, and you can see what the idea was at the time. We developed with students.
And we talked about this with Christian
With Androniki.
Grünwald. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see the video. I hope it's... Oh, it's not... Oh, one moment. We have... There is a tech... It's always a technical thing. Let me try another part. But one moment.
In Griechenland ist der Periptero Teil des Alltags und Ort des sozialen Austauschs. Hier trifft sich jeder, daher kam die Idee für den Kulturkiosk. Wir sind Studierende aus Kassel und Athen mit verschiedenen Schwerpunkten und wollen gemeinsam gesellschaftliche und wirtschaftliche Themen neu zusammendenken. Dafür entwerfen Architekten aus unserem Team einen zeitgenössischen Kiosk, der Raum für interkulturelle Workshops bietet und flexibel während der Documenta 14 gespielt wird. So bringen wir Besucher zusammen, die sich sonst vielleicht nie getroffen hätten. Für kulturelle Angebote in Kassel gibt es wenig Raum. Deshalb soll unser Periptero auch nachher der Kulturkiosk der Stadt bleiben. Kassels Kultur bewegen.
Yes, Periptero. And we are calling to Androniki, or who is next?
Androniki, yeah. Androniki, yeah.
Androniki. She was inside, but we lost her. Maybe she can call back. So, but before
I talk a little bit about this while she's coming. To say the video just saw was made by Bao Bilgeri. She's a Chinese who studied in the art school here in Kassel, and she was also on our team as a teacher. And that's the thing also I learned with moving school, that of course you don't have all these gifts and talents yourself, you know. It's just that you can, even in a city or university, there's so many gifted people. So if you have a project, just call them together with their expertise to bring it in. And there's so many wonderful gifted people that you can't do it all by yourself. So that's also an example what we think in moving school, that we do interdisciplinary work, we bring people together, and through that it's much easier to do projects who can be successful and also maybe can be implemented globally, because you have different nationalities, different cultures, different gifts in one team.
Yeah, but we miss her. That sounds great. So maybe we have to.
Okay, so maybe.
So maybe I might get a short interruption for all the people out there. So if you during we are trying to bring our next guest, you see down below all the places where you can find this live streaming, and underneath you have always the possibility to make comments. You can ask questions or say what you want or paint. And if you like, you can also join here by telephone. This is the number in Germany. So if you're in Europe, maybe it's for your pocket, not that expensive. Yeah.
So maybe it's a time when Androniki tries to get in to present you some of our pedagogical principles shortly. Yeah? I didn't make a presentation, but I can write it to you up afterwards. So there like 13 or 14 insights or things we put forward. And as I said, it was not something we thought from the beginning. It was evolving through experience. What is helping the group? What is helping to learn? Yeah. So that's what I'm just sharing with you, and probably I'm sure it's not all you can say about learning, which is necessary today. As we say, learning from the future, which means we think, imagine what is happening in the future, and from that learn, okay, how do we need to prepare ourselves? So first of all, of course, if you do a project, if you learn, you need to finding an igniting purpose, because intrinsic motivation, which comes from inside, is much more important than motivation which is forced on you from the outside, from the teacher. You have, let's do this project, and the teacher is so excited about it because he likes this project, but it's not the student's project. So that's really hard to start one and to bring people into this process. And it's a process oriented how we work. Usually in education, you learn, and then you implement it. People study, and then do their job. So what we think, and what I learned from other schools like the Nomads or KS Pilots, you start working on a challenge, on a problem, and then when you can't cover what is necessary for this, you call an expert in to teach you. So it's on the spot. When you need it, you call somebody in. He gives a mini lecture or course, and then you can continue. And it's also process oriented. What about the group? The group find each other in the beginning is very important. If you think you can, what's the English word? Like you go around this, let's go fast to the content. Let's start the project. You will see that what's lacking in relationship will always come up later as a problematic situation and conflict. So to form a group and try to ignite friendship and trust among the group is really a base to do a good project. So creating a community with a cooperative mindset, that's something also I also recently experienced again, that some people were not raised in such a cooperative mindset. Maybe they grew up as a single child, or had to just care about themselves. The circumstances were too hard to look, aside. So there are a lot of people not used to work in teams, and Roshanat said that. And in Iran, for instance, these two issues, to work in a team and to trust each other, that's what they told me were the big issues to overcome and to learn. And I think that's also a lot of that is also true for us. So create a community, and also have in mind you want to develop new identities or form expanded identities where people learn new things also about themselves, about their mindset, about the way they tick. And of course that takes time. You can't do it in one semester, but if you start, people can easily grab it up and understand what it means to learn something new, which like trust or relationship. And I found that people also really like that. They like to learn new things, and especially to come into relationship with people, because not everyone has friends. Not everyone has good friends. Not everyone has people to work with, to do something new.
You see, I'm doing everything I can do. Androniki, please call in. We're waiting for you.
Yeah, if it's not happening, can't do anything about it. Just to continue, the third is also boundary spanning, to just extend your network. That's also very important. As I said in the beginning, we don't have all the talents in ourselves. So to move forward in life, to move forward in a project, this ability to make new connections with people is very vital. And of course, there are people who can do better than others. But so maybe you can help each other to do it. And somebody who is maybe shy can try at least little steps to go forward and connect with people. So boundary spanning, network extending is also one of our aims. And another thing at the core, to have a complex learning with head, heart, and hand. Moshe Feldenkrais, maybe you know him from this kind of healing service. Moshe Feldenkrais said, I understand learning in that way, that everything you know has to be known in 3, 4, or 5 different ways, at least. So, to use different senses, to use different perspectives, to be bodily involved. That's why it's so important also to work with your hands, make prototypes or go outside in nature, touch material, because these sensations stirs up new thoughts, new creativity in our mind. And usually if you sit in a classroom and you just listen to the teacher, you don't have complex learning experience. Also, for that reason, movement and music is we use in our workshops at the beginning, maybe to loosen, to concentrate on our body, also to be still, have contemplation, to focus. And that's, of course, you can't do in a classroom where the tables are fixed or you have to throw them out first. So that's why usually we work in huge areas where you can just move around. You have the ability to dance, to listen to music, but also to sit in a circle and concentrate on a subject. So then, as I said, I said this already, focusing on relationships and personal development. Why is this important? Because innovation, creativity or working in a team is not just about methods. It's also a lot about attitudes and beliefs. What I've learned I can do, what my parents maybe told me I'm able to do. And a lot of people have grown up with limiting beliefs, because maybe the parents or one of the teachers say, "Oh, you will never reach that level. You have 2 left hands," and all these sayings. If you think about it, what's in your head and heart about limiting beliefs. And that's kind of something we learn. And that's something also to unlearn, because we can a lot do more than people have told us. And it's a question of attitude to also to have self-reflection. Where do I come from? Where do these limiting beliefs come from? So it's not just about methods from the teacher, but also of self-reflection. What is hindering me? What can I throw out? And who can help me to do that, to go forward? So to focus on personal development in moving school is a huge part. And of course, this needs trust. You can't do that if if you, as a team teacher, team member who's teaching, you think you are, something better or higher. Learning, we understand, is always eye-to-eye level learning, and because even nowadays, I have to learn a lot from my students. A lot of things I cannot do myself. I'm not an IT person. I don't know so much about making movies or whatever. So we have to learn from each other, even especially in adult learning. Another one is also, and that already came up in the interviews, to create an appreciative learning environment. What's happening from school times is that people are afraid to go to school, or they're anxious because when I go there, I may be put down by the teacher. I'm mobbed by some colleague or whatever. And if you're afraid, an afraid mind cannot learn. An anxious mind is just blocked. And that's why it's so important to be appreciative and also to welcome difference, because we are different. We are all human beings, but we are different. And nevertheless, to appreciate each other with the difference, also with the way where you are at your learning, is vital to be able to take on new learnings. And that's what we try to, that people feel comfortable each other. And how we do it, just for an example, is like when we start a workshop, and at the end we ask people, how do you feel? How do you come here today? What happened last week? So what people like to share, so we know where we are each other. And maybe somebody says, I'm sad. I had this conflict with my partner. I'm not very concentrated, or whatever. So you know the state of mind. Also, if you go out of a meeting, of a seminar, if you ask people, how was that for you? And people sometimes say, that was not for me, or I was really angry, this and this happened. That's much more better to bring this in the group than to leave with this bad feeling, because you can bring it in. There's this trust that you can say it, and it can help the group next time to make it a better way. Something which also said before is that creativity education needs the freedom to explore. It needs the freedom to play. So if you think of your classrooms at school or in university, how much freedom did you have to play and to explore things by your own time? In Germany, I think the most advanced schools are the primary schools in that, because they have understood that children need this time of exploration. But why not us adults? I mean, who thinks that we don't need time to play, time to explore? And that just needs a different time and space, of course, that people can really try that out. And as Hannah Arendt, the thinker of the early days of the Republic in the war, the philosopher, she says, she wrote a book with the title "Thinking Without a Railing," and that's a little bit similar to limiting beliefs. If you think, our thoughts are free. There's a song, everybody can think what he wants. That's what we think. But in many families and schools, we are taught what's forbidden to think, what is not right, what is not, what breaks the taboo, and so on. So if you want to have a creative education and learn, you should be free to think what you want and also to say what you want in a group. And even if it's weird or morally bad, whoever judges that you have the freedom to say it, and then you can talk about it and discuss it. But to suppress so many things in our educational system is not bringing us forward. And that brings me to the next thing. We talked also about it, is that for that it's important to embrace mistakes and the imperfect. And every learner is making mistakes and is imperfect. We are human beings. We are imperfect by definition. So who teaches us that this is wrong to make a mistake and be imperfect? So to have that freedom in a group and not laugh about somebody if somebody makes something wrong, or think, oh, you haven't understood it. We talked about it 10 times. Why are you so bloody dumb that you don't understand it? It's really not helpful. I talked about teamwork already, that some people really have to learn it, and that's really true in our groups. So for the 3 last points, to tell you that I think also in universities or school, as the buildings are made, we need a lot of out-of-school learning. We need to go places where the subjects are happening, or where we can explore something. Somebody said there are no facts inside buildings. We have to go out, touch things with our hands, with our body, smell things, see things, hear things. The whole complex learning Moshe Feldenkrais talked about, and that's why we need other places to learn. And right now in this term, we have a seminar in the nature park near Kassel, doing like a concept for a new restaurant there. What can they do for children, for disabled people? So we're not sitting in the classroom to do that. So we go there and explore the site and experience it. On the other hand, which is important today, is of course using technology rather than being used by technology. So there's no. If I think you have to go into a natural environment. It's now, we're not enemies of technology. It's very important to be on, as much as you can on the top of the list, what's going on and how to use these devices, because in many ways they can make our life more easy. I mean, if you think you have always in your hand almost the knowledge of the world, that's fantastic. So, and maybe to close with 2 points, which are maybe a little bit, the next one maybe a little bit to discuss. But I was really impressed when I read about Mr. Lerner. I think he was a very famous conductor of an American orchestra, and of course he was a professor for music. And what he did was, like, when the people came into his class, he said to them, "Look, don't worry, you all will go out with an A." So he gave them the A, the best note, the best mark right at the beginning, to say, and I trust you that you will exercise and do what you can to reach it. I trust you, because this measuring each other creates a lot of competition. Of course, I know that can be debated, but I feel that many times in our courses, when people know not every step is watched to be marked, not everything is judged what I do, people can unfold their thriving, much better. And lastly, to do good learning and project, of course, we need courage and perseverance, because to do new things or to go cross borders is not easy for nobody. And so we need courage, and perseverance also means we need to learn how to deal with setbacks and frustrations. And I can tell you that not me, just members of our teams, there was so many times we were frustrated and said, is this really the right path? Is this really to go? Or we did mistakes with people and subjects, So this is inevitable. Perseverance means that you not punish yourself for that. So you forgive yourself and others. You have mercy for yourself and others. Because only then you can still take up the courage again and again to move forward. And so we're not finished in our path. And hopefully, if you listen and you're interested to join, you're welcome. Because everyone who's joining, not just Moving School, but all other initiatives which long to change something in our world, need people who engage themselves. Yeah, thank you so much for listening right now. And of course, if you have any comments or questions, feel free. I don't know if Androniki made it by now.
Yes, Ludwig, thanks a lot. I don't know if Carolina or Urs or Peter have a question. Do you have any questions? No, at the moment. Because Androniki is fighting. She's fighting around the clock to come and join us. So please, a warm welcome to her. And I hope we have sound from her. So let us see. Let her in. Wait a moment. Yeah, wait. There she is. Oh, no sound.
No voice.
No voice. Oh, good. Wait a moment. Androniki, you have muted yourself. You have muted yourself. Look at your call. Yeah. Okay. We can only say, Androniki, you have to go down on the link, and there is a unmute button. So please unmute yourself. Yeah. Take a look where it is. Yeah. So are you trying? Yes, this is great. Yeah. So let us see if we.
This is great. Hi.
Wait. So I can't find you. A moment. Yes.
I've never had such a difficult.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Can you are trying now with your iPhone? Yes.
Yes, of course, only with my iPhone. It doesn't work on my.
Can you turn it like your TV? Yes.
Something
oh,
like
that's
this?
much better. Yes, because we are here at Moving Stories and Moving School, so we have always to turn telephones, meanings, ideas, and now here is here's Ludwig.
Yeah, hi, Androniki.
Yeah. I've been doing that for 2 hours, 3 right now, and I'm so happy. Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, as I said, perseverance is so important.
Yeah, I just heard that.
Yeah, I invited Androniki. Sorry?
Persistence.
Yes. I invited you because you were in this Periptero project. We had seen this little animation before as a student or a participant, and so now you are on the teaching team. But maybe just introduce yourself because you are also a very gifted person. You're doing different things or learn different things.
Thank you very much. As I've said before, and you know my opinion, if I'm gifted or not, only history will tell that. You're very kind, Ludwig. Thank you very much.
Okay, if you don't want to say it, I can say it. So Androniki studied architecture or engineering, right? And
Yes.
also graphic design in Vagalos School of Design and Art, right? In Athens.
Exactly.
And she's also a classical singer.
Yeah.
So like singing operas and these songs.
Yes, that's true. I have studied classical singing, and I'm a singer in the avant-garde band Chaos Star, which is actually, a coexistence of classical elements and rock elements, electronic elements, neoclassical. Um, we see no borders in music inside this project.
Yeah, super. So Androniki, maybe you can just shortly explain what is a periptero?
Yes. Periptero has been a very interesting project because actually it not demands, I wouldn't say that, but it actually introduces the way people interact when they are out to buy everyday stuff. And this is interesting because it becomes part of our day life, and it's not just shopping, it's socializing. And for people who actually live through this era, let's say the periptero, the phenomenon periptero, it's very interesting because it creates feelings, emotions, and memories.
But what is a periptero? People don't know this word.
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry. I thought you had just talked about this. Yes, periptero is the Greek kiosk. It is the Greek kiosk where people can go and buy, you know, it's kind of convenience store. Can buy everyday stuff. Maybe not groceries, but certainly newspaper, cigarettes, snacks, drinks, refreshing beverages, all those kind of stuff. But in the daily life of an Athenian person, of a Greek person, periptero is part of a socializing experience because you get to know the person that you go there. Maybe the person who sells those stuff knows you from very early age, and he or she sees the entire upbringing of yours. This is interesting. You get to have conversations. You even interact with your emotions by buying stuff over there, and you communicate your feelings. That's the interesting thing, that it has become a part of our daily life here in Greece. And of course, there is something similar in other countries, and I understand that, but maybe not so in such a small scale and so locally, because here in Greece we have a lot of periptero in every corner in a neighborhood. And
That
this a little bit different, and they stay up until very, very late. Maybe they don't even close at all.
like Spati. So that's why we choose this this concept of a periptero for the documenta to work on that on both sides, German students and Greek students. But today, what's interesting for us to know, because you also grew up in the Greek educational system, in this periptero project, and also right now to be on the team, what is different to your childhood or university education to the way you experience this project or working with us?
Yes, the interesting, and it was really interesting, I can tell, is that you're trying to make an interpretation of a daily procedure in another country to an experience of knowledge by indulging yourself into the procedure of periptero. That was the interesting thing, that maybe periptero is something, okay, totally Greek, in the sense that I experienced it as a Greek person. But the beautiful thing is that you heard all our stories when we explained what we do when we go to a periptero, what we purchase, what are the conversations that we may start with the person who owns the place. And you indulge yourself into this kind of connection, into this social atmosphere that was created in Greece, and you made a kind of interpretation through your own experiences. And this is a means of knowledge. This is a means of acquiring knowledge. That's the interesting thing. And it was fantastic. I mean, that the final resort outside Documenta, as I saw it through images, it was amazing. And you did a great job. You put a lot of effort over there.
Mm-hmm. So now you're part of the teaching team, and why did you join the teaching team? What made you?
Yes, I
What is
always believed that acquire and having knowledge without sharing it doesn't really matter in this world. It's very important that you share the knowledge that you acquire throughout the years, and you transmit all the things you learned throughout the learning procedures. Right now, as you said before, I'm working on the field of architectural engineering, but more precisely on the field of sustainability. I'm a sustainability designer consultant. And I think that nowadays we have to raise awareness regarding all the topics that have to do with environment, and how we're going to create more sustainable environments for the next generations. So through my teaching, I believe that I have a small chance to share my knowledge on sustainability with other people at this moment, and to share have acquired throughout the years in sustainability and in architectural design, because those two, they can be combined. When you design as an architect, you ought to understand, you have to realize that you have sustainability rules at the back of your head always. This is very important. So how the knowledge becomes design, how the knowledge we have on environmental issues becomes architectural design. There are specific reasons the one affects the other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm aspiring to talk about.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Greetings to Athens. See you soon. And
Bye bye, Berlin.
Yeah, and Zhang was writing 12 points to Greece, and I can give another 3 points from Germany, because more points we didn't get from, I don't know, from... Who's next, Ludwig? And we have to make a little bit
I think
power,
we should play
but I'm sure
music of we should play music of Carolina now, and also let her go if she wants to.
Yeah.
Carolina, are you still with us? You're getting tired.
Carolina, you are getting darker there. So
Oh yes,
yes,
sorry, it's getting
yeah,
dark.
yeah, and
Maybe
Ludwig has a few more guests, I'm sure, don't you?
Yeah, but we're coming to a close. But I think we did enough talking. I think it would be nice to hear your song now. So
And after that,
can you introduce your music? What we're going to listen to now?
We're going to use to listen to La Llorona, which is traditional songs from Mexico.
okay, and we say goodbye to you and see you next time.
You.
And we come back after the music, don't we, Ludwig?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Okay, because we have a few more guests, so stay there if you like and write comments if you want. Bye-bye, Carolina. And here comes the
Bye,
song.
Carolina.
Todos me dicen el negro, llorona, negro, pero cariñoso. Todos me dicen el negro, llorona, negro, pero cariñoso. Yo soy como el chile verde, llorona, picante, pero saboroso. Yo soy como el chile verde, llorona, picante, pero saboroso. No sé qué tienen las flores, llorona, las flores del Campo Santo. No sé qué tienen las flores, llorona, las flores del Campo Santo, que cuando las mueve el viento, llorona, parece que están llorando, que cuando las mueve el viento, llorona, parece que está llorando. Dime, llorona, 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 llévame al río. Aunque la vida me cueste, llorona, no dejaré de quererte. Te quiero más que a mi vida, llorona, ¿qué más quieres? ¿Quieres más?
Wonderful. And now we are going further on with the moving school and waiting for some other guests to call in. Which persons we are missing at the moment? It's I've yes, Andrea and yes.
Yeah, Andrea, we are coming to a close with our one big project we're doing right now, and then have a final comment from another friend who joined us. So now wait for Andrea Zeka to talk about social catwalk, fashion for integration. and we hopefully, yeah, she's waiting to get in, so we see if she's coming in. This is a project we started in 2018 after all these new people coming to Germany, refugees. What can we do about that? And so Chang, who will also be in here right in a few minutes, fashion designer from Cologne, and me had this idea. Let's do something about upcycling fashion and involve people with their gifts and talents in that, and show them in a very positive way. Because usually refugees are seen as people who lacking something. They lack the language, they lack the way of life or whatever. And we wanted to give them the feeling they have something to give to others. And that's how Social Catwalk came alive.
So maybe till we are waiting, we can see a video from Social Catwalk.
Yeah, okay, genau.
That will be very nice, maybe, so that you out there can get an impression of it. Oh, one moment, I have to. It's always live here.
Integration in this, because integration is the process of fitting into a community. And when we say integration, it doesn't mean you have to lose your identity for being an integral part of the community.
Yeah, that was Andrea in the film.
Yeah, we had her in the guest room, in the green room, but we lost her. We are still waiting. So
yeah, maybe we should then ask Chang and Savanas to come in.
Yeah.
Can they be in both?
Yeah. They can be in, but they are not calling at the moment. So Ludwig, tell us the Social Catwalk, how you developed it, how this idea came up. When was it?
2018. We started with workshops, and the idea was to have a university course with students from all departments, everyone who is interested, and then invite refugees, also people without work, to come and join us in workshops over the term, like 3 or 4 workshop weekends, and then at the end to have a final presentation.
Okay, and now Chang is here. So we want to see you, Chang. There you are. Welcome. Hi. How are you?
Fine.
We saw you in the video, and Ludwig is here.
Okay, is Savanas also coming?
No, and at the moment not.
Okay, let's see. Let's then. She's waiting to be connected. Chang, maybe you can say something about the start of the project too.
So the coding is right. It's really bit slow.
You look beautiful.
Okay. Hi. So I'm going to start and then you introduce myself. My name is Chang 13 and hi, welcome everybody. So I am working since 2018, starting with my Tom and Jerry partner, or we can call it Tama and Selma and Louise Ludwig, and he invited me to the famous peripteral we were talking about before, and I had the chance to have a workshop with women. It's called Amazon Camp, and at the same time I was in the group from Voodoo Chanel, and I performed there too. And at the same time, I was an artist as a one-line artist, and I had the chance to show my art stuff and the workshop. So so I did get to know Ludwig, and it was amazing. But during the time, I spent days, and we talk about the situation, about education, especially to young people. We had the common sense, and he already had the experience with the project, with a lot of project, especially with made bags from different young people or generation. I guess I can remember that, and it was a beautiful work and project work with all the people and all the young people to create something and to sell it and to bring it back. And so we had the idea how we can just involve all the aspects of how can integrate or include people easily, because I am a migrant too. So when I was 8 years old, I came from South Korea and just jumped into here, and I had to start to learn. And I went to school with some lessons called integration stuff, Förderung. It's like your, I don't know the German English word for Förderung, but I have to learn all the things about cultures and different things in Germany very quickly. And I was very sad in the first time, because I learned a lot of in Korea, by the way, and then I have to learn things like I don't know, to being integrated. But it was the best chance to get into this society or in this culture. So and this is something I experienced, and it became something what I felt the first time negative, but it was very positive. And we thought, why we can't do use this idea of to bring young people easy way with fashion, and to give a language to get into quickly into the society. Now, for example, here coming here into Germany, and it's very hard to if you have a lag with the languages, it's always hard to understand each other. Misunderstanding is the greatest things, and the first impression all the people from me is always like, do you speak German? And it's always, even I speak German. It's so yes, and so I had this feeling. All of the projects of Ludwig, it will be an interesting thing that we can use fashion. And it was like it was a beautiful talk, because I felt he has to have the same channeling and the feeling, and yeah, and it became for me beautiful, exciting, challenging experience with social catwalk. First, it was just a workshop. We just started with dress for success and fashion for integration, and then the rest was this was a surprise for me. So.
And yeah, we're waiting. Savanas is trying. I don't know why she doesn't get in, but she's trying with her iPhone. So because she's doing also a part of the class now. Maybe Chang, you can tell something about it.
Yes, because in the past time we have a lot of expert and teachers and lecturer, and now this year I am very honored and proud and happy that we have Savannah's in our team, and she is teaching us a special way about leather, and her workshop called ABC Leather Workshop, and people can learn about things is left over, and turn it into a beautiful design and patterns. And I think Savannah will just explain it, what is her concept, but this concept is beautifully fits to our social catwalk, is because we working culture and upcycling and bring people together. This kind of communication, and in all sense, social became this medial thing that we're connecting each other. And catwalk, I think we have to express, and that's what Savannah did from Paris. And I know what Paris means is fashion, and so Korea is fashion too. So we both start to find and connect to each other. And I'm very thankful that you're talking about teamwork. And absolutely, I never thought I was a teamwork. And I learned a lot of moving school, and learning a lot of it from Ludwig and from the future of the children. Yes, because I learn from my students a lot, and talking with Vannas and Ludwig, I think we went up and down a roller coaster in the first time, because they were, I think they're we don't each other. You see me and say, oh my God, this person is crazy and funny, and they don't expect someone is teaching or lecturing things. But I say, hello, it's fashion. Fashion has no limits. Fashion is just expression. Just express yourself, and that's all about it. And yes, and I think very interesting this year is working with Savannah's is because we learn another way to think about upcycling and think about to bring in fashion in the cycle of our life. It's like not recycling all the time. It's like finding their different way to think about it, different views to see about it, how we can use materials, how we can see the cultural aspects. So yes, this is. Savannah, I think I'm keen on seeing to Savannah's because she has a very, very beautiful way to express her leather workshop, and it's probably you have to come to us. You're always invited to Social Catwalk, by the way.
Yeah, you and Sanders are doing online course this semester,
Yes.
and we'll see how it works, and maybe can offer it also in the future for other people. A different way of teaching, but nevertheless successful. Yeah, thank you for now. I see Savanas and Andrea are not making it set enough. I want to maybe call in Roberta as our last guest.
Roberta.
I have something to say before I just say goodbye. Okay. Yes, because I am working with Moving School, and thank you very much for this opportunity, and grow with Ludwig and all the team. I'm happy to see soon something in the future, maybe a big school. We're working together. And by the way, talking about Social Catwalk, I'm going to show or upload it, and on Friday/Saturday, a documentary about all the features, all the pictures of Social Catwalk, and already interviewed 13 of amazing students, including Andrea, including Ludwig, Savannah's, and all the people to Social Catwalk talk. It will be just announced on my channel, and well, they have to talk. They talk a lot of things, especially about cultural appropriation and Social Catwalk itself. So you are very invited. If you like, subscribe, comment, and bell the notification.
Can you type in the chat the link where you will publish that?
Yes,
okay.
Of course, you are. You can just have information on our Facebook and Twitter, and Facebook and Instagram of Social Catwalk Kassel, because I love Kassel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chang. So, Ludwig, our last guest will be Roberta. Can you say something about Roberta?
Is she there already?
She's already here, yeah. Look.
Oh, hi. Yeah, Roberta is my neighbor since a short time. Roberta Wagner, she actually is bridging a gap between Africa and Europe. Roberta, maybe you can say a few words about you as a bridge between the two continents.
Hello, good evening. This has been a really long show, but very enlightening. So thank you very much, Ludwig, for all your insights and having the team come together in this wonderful show. That's really awesome. So I've learned quite a few things about moving school as well tonight. Yeah. Yeah, so bridging, I don't know if I would say I'm bridging a gap. Maybe that's stretching it, but I think maybe what I could say is I have been working 20 years on the African continent. And therefore, I've gained a lot of insights and I have quite a network of people I've met. And my ambition coming back to Germany has been always to reflect my encounters from the African continent into my life in Germany. Because I do realize that there's quite a lot of stereotypes and prejudice. And I feel my role could be to maybe not enlighten, but at least to play a role in trying to change that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the reason why I invited you also to show another great talent and experienced teacher of our team, also in the coaching team, but you were also working in the Goethe Institute, bringing it up in Uganda and Zimbabwe and leading it. So working in very traditional organization, and then after some years, you are your own company, Anthouse Productions, as a cultural agent, organizing festivals and promoting artists. We have seen Prayer Soul this week, and we will see Ito Sings from South Africa. So these are your buddies. What do you think, from your experience, is important for an organization like Moving School? It's at that stage as we are. I mean, existing 10 years, but not being so big, not having much money. Is this a fault, or what could be the next step, and what is also important for such a fluent team we are, or maybe an NGO? I mean, what do you see as such a person having so much experience? What would be the next steps to go? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you. Just talk. Maybe her internet connection is a little bit slow. Oh, this could happen all the time. Yeah, maybe we are too long on the show, but Roberta, if it's possible, please call again in. And always Savenas. We had her 3 times in, but then we lost her again. This is a live stream, and if the connection is not working, we have to wait till it works. And hopefully Roberta is coming back, and so you see her again, and you can talk further on. Hi, Roberta. No, she's frozen again. Roberta, please log out and try it again. If it's not working, I can show you the telephone number, and maybe we can finish the talk via telephone. So that will be also a possibility. She is on. Yeah, there she is again.
I'm sorry.
No problem. Yeah.
Did you get my question?
Yes, I think I got it. I mean, first of all, my fascination with moving school is your incredible network. And you have, I mean, as you could see in today's show, you have incredible experts at your hand from all over the world with an incredible expertise. And that is my fascination with moving school, first of all. And then your question in terms of, what kind of expertise or what kind of next steps is needed for moving school after 10 years, I believe it's really, money can be found in a way. I always say, and Ludwig always cringes over that. I feel money can be found somehow with such incredible ideas of moving school. It's now a matter of being a little bit more structured, maybe in a way, and creating this vision and this vehicle which can move forward in a little bit more structured way. I guess that would be the next step. But I think you have everything at hand which you need. You have incredible ideas, you have an incredible team, you're connected all over the world. So what more could you ask for? I mean, money can be found. So let's just put our heads and brains and hands together and start moving.
Thank you so much. So if anybody's listening who has a bunch of money at home, doesn't know what to do with it, you're welcome to spend it with us. And also if you
take a look under your bed. Sometimes people find their money.
Yeah, or if you want to join us or have an idea how we can connect, you're welcome to do that. So maybe thanks for Roberta for now. We will talk about this much more, and we have some more project in store. So thank you for that right now. We'll see you later.
But it's already later.
No, I mean after the show. Maybe. After the show. Is Urs still? Is he asleep or is he?
Sorry. Pardon?
Is Urs still there or is he gone to bed?
Yes, because for a man in this age, he is has to go bed. Yeah, his hand was tired.
Yeah.
Not only for men in his age.
Yeah. We
okay.
Okay. Tomorrow we will go to South America, to Ecuador, and have a
speaking Spanish
deal with Melting Design, a nice chocolate artist. Sophia is coming also with her musicians. Hopefully we find somebody. I think we were lacking a Spanish-English translator. So if somebody is fluent in both languages, let us know.
And if you're so, maybe you can write us a message here on the channel. And we are always looking for people joining this team.
And on Thursday, just these 2 days, Thursday, Rafael Chikukwa, that's also a connection Roberta made for us. He's in Zimbabwe, the director of the National Museum of Contemporary Art, right?
Oh, she's okay.
He's the director of the National Gallery of Zimbabwe.
Yeah, great. And he's talking about the design in Africa post-COVID, so that will also be an interesting talk. Okay, we are going to close.
Yeah, are you sure it's a little bit early? Maybe
we can start drinking wine and
in front of the
lighter. Yes.
Okay, by preparing this show, I was always thinking, oh, maybe this could be a few minutes longer, and it was, but it was very inspiring. And yes, we missed a few people who couldn't join, but maybe we find the next days the possibility maybe to bring them a few minutes into the show. We will talk this maybe later. So yeah, thank you, Ludwig. It was a very long evening show for you. Yeah, and yeah, thank you, Roberta. And yeah, everything is said. I hope. No, love is in the air. So, see you tomorrow.
Bye.